ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Hare Krishna. We welcome all of our YouTube live listeners, our listeners over Facebook Live, and our listeners over Zoom. Welcome to day 11 of Sri Gauramrita.
आराध्य भगवान् व्रजेश तनयस् तद्धाम वृन्दावनम्। रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधू वर्गेण वा कल्पिता। श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेम पुमार्थो महान्। श्रीचैतन्य महाप्रभोर्मतमिदम् तत्र धारणा परः।
अनार्पिता चरुचिरात् करुणयावतीर्ण कलौ
समर्पयितुम् उन्नतोज्ज्वलरसाम् स्वभक्ति श्रियम्। हरिपुरट सुन्दरद्युति कदम्ब सन्दीपिता सदा हृदय कन्दरे स्फुरतु वासची नन्दना। जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद।
Before we start today's session, we would like to congratulate and announce the names of the devotees who participated in the quiz session from day 10. We'd like to congratulate Hari Prasad Prabhu, Mother Flavia, Nutan Purohit Mataji, Brinda Gopika Mataji, Shama Supriya, Anjali Agarwal Mataji, Meenakshi Modi Mataji, and Ranjani Gopika Mataji. Thank you all so much for participating in the quiz session from day 10.
So today we go to chapter 13, where after Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami glorifies the Vaishnavas and the Panchatattva, and then describing the Chaitanya tree and the mission of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he comes to the chapter of describing the advent of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai. This chapter has 124 verses, and this 13th chapter actually describes the appearance of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. This entire Adi Leela describes Lord Chaitanya's household life, and similarly the Antya Leela describes his life in the sannyas order. Within the Antya Leela pastime, Antya Leela, Antya means the ending. Antya Leela is the ending pastimes. Adi Leela, Adi means the beginning. So Adi Leela is the beginning pastimes of the Lord. But in the Antya Leela, the third canto, the first 6 years of his sannyas life are called the Madhya Leela. During this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he toured southern India, he went to Vrindavan, he returned from Vrindavan and preached the Sankirtan movement. So there is Adi Leela, Madhya Leela, and Antya Leela. Madhya Leela is actually the first 6 years of his sannyas life. So, but we are still in Adi Leela, and we are describing the advent of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
चौदह शत शत सखे जन्मेर प्रमाण 14 panchane hoila antardham.
In 1407 of the Shaka era, which is 1486 AD, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared. And in 1455, which is 1534 AD, he disappeared from this world.
Mahaprabhu ki jai.
And then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes how Krishna, Vrajendra Kumar, he wanted to fulfill a particular desire within his mind. And that's why he descended to this planet after a lot of contemplation. And therefore, before he arrived, he first allowed his family of superiors to descend the earth. And Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes in brief about all these events. Because Lord Sri Krishna, before he appeared as Lord Chaitanya, he requested the following devotees to go before him. Krishna came to these devotees and said, you come, you go to the earthly planet, and I am coming. Make arrangements for my preparation. Krishna told, I'm going to come as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who are these devotees that he asked to precede? Sri Shachi Devi, who is none other than Yashoda. Jagannath Mishra, who is none other than Vasudev and Nanda Maharaj. And then Madhavendra Puri, who is the grand spiritual master of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Keshav Bharati, who became the sannyas guru of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ishvara Puri became the initiating guru of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. He also sent Advaita Acharya, who is none other than Mahavishnu and Sadashiva. Srivas Pandit, Acharya Ratna, Vidyanidhi, Haridas Thakur, who is none other than Brahma. He went to all these great personalities, said, now the time has come. Come to this earth in Kali Yuga, and I will be coming with after you. And then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami also says there was one Upendra Mishra, Sri Upendra Mishra, who is a resident of Sri Hatta. He was a very great devotee of Vishnu. He was a learned scholar, rich man. He had all these good qualities, and he had 7 sons. These 7 sons were very saintly and very influential. Their names are described here. Kamsari, Paramananda, Padmanabha, Sarveshwara, Jagannath, Janardana, and Trilokyanath. Jagannath Mishra, the 5th son, he decided to reside on the bank of Ganges at Nadia.
So Upendra Mishra is actually the grandfather of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the father of Jagannath Mishra. So it is said that Jagannath Mishra's father, Upendra Mishra, came to study along with Nilambar Chakravarti in Navadvip Dham, who used to reside in Belpukur near Navadvip. When we were doing the Navadvip Mandal Parikrama, if we remember that Shachi Mata's home, her maternal home, is this little village called as Belpukur, where the great scholar, very, very special, he was a very, very expert astrologer, expert mathematician, and a very, very great proponent of the Vedas, was Nilambar Chakravarti. He was known all over Nadia for his great scholarly attitude and also for his great abilities to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead by his extensive devotion. So Upendra Mishra came to study along with Nilambar Chakravarti. And Upendra Mishra's son, who is Jagannath Mishra, he at that time, the 2 devotees, Upendra Mishra and Nilambar Chakravarti, became very good friends. And thus they arranged for their children. Nilambar Chakravarti's daughter is Sachi Mata and Sachi Devi, and Upendra Mishra's son is Jagannath Mishra. So both of their marriage was arranged by both of their parents in this way.
So Jagannath Mishra said he is also designated as Purandara. And he was an ocean of good qualities, just like Nanda Maharaj, just like Vasudev. His wife was Srimati Sachi Devi. She was a very chaste woman, very devoted to her husband, and her father's name was Nilambara Chakravarti. And of course, his surname was Chakravarti. Now, Krishna, he first caused so many different devotees to appear, then he appeared himself. But Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, when he arrived, he felt so pained to see all the people without Krishna consciousness. They just merged in material sense enjoyment. And seeing this condition of the world, he began to think seriously how these people can be delivered from this clutches of Maya. And he thought, if Krishna appears himself in order to distribute this cult of devotional service, only then will there be liberation possible for all these people. So with this consideration, Advaita Acharya Prabhu, he promised that I will cause Krishna to descend. And so he began to worship Krishna with tulsi leaves and water of the Ganges, and by his loud cries, which were so intense that his cries from the heart penetrated the coverings of the material universe and entered into the spiritual sky, straight into the lotus feet and the heart of Krishna, and pulled Krishna to this material world as Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That is how we are supposed to chant.
It is said that the loud cries of Sri Advaita Acharya, his hunkara means loud cries. The way Advaita Acharya Prabhu would cry out for Krishna, Krishna was nicely, it is explained, Krishna was very immersed in playing on his flute. And when he was playing on his flute like this, the loud cries of Sriman Advaita Acharya Prabhu, who is the incarnation of Mahavishnu and the incarnation of Sadashiva, both of them combined is Advaita Acharya Prabhu. And when these cries, it interrupted the sound of Krishna's playing his flute. And Krishna immediately said, who is calling out to me? Like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in his Advaita Ashtakam, the first verse that he sings in glorification of Advaita Acharya is Uhumkaro Garjanadi Ahoratro Shadguna Ha Krishna Radhikanatho Prarthanadi Bhavanam Dhupodeepo Kosturicha Chandonadi Lepanam Shitanatha Dvaita Charo Naravinda Bhavanam. That Advaita Acharya's prayers, his loud and loving call, it penetrated the material sky. It entered into Goloka Vrindavan and interrupted the playing of the flute of Sri Krishna. And it prompted Krishna to come as Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
Now, before Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared, in the womb of Shachimata, 8 daughters took birth one after another. Unfortunately, just after birth, they all died. And Jagannath Mishra was very unhappy at the death of his children, one after another. So he desired a son. And he worshipped the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. And so Jagannath Mishra and Shachimata got a son. They named him Vishwaroop, who was a very, very powerful, highly qualified, because he was an incarnation of Baladev as Vishwaroop. Now, both Jagannath Mishra, Shachimata, both husband and wife, they got Vishwaroop as their son. They were very pleased within their minds. And Because they were so pleased, they specifically began to serve the lotus feet of Govinda. In 1485, Krishna entered into the bodies of Lord Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi. In fact, why he entered in 1485? Because the next year, 1486, Krishna would
it is explained in the next consequent verses also. We will see that how, just like Krishna, Srila Prabhupada makes a very, very important point here, that just like Krishna did not come, he appeared into the mind of Vasudeva first, then he entered into, from his mind, he entered into the heart of Vasudeva. And from the heart of Vasudeva, he was transferred into the heart of Devaki Devi. So Krishna did not appear just like normal children make their appearance. They take their birth. That's why Krishna is appearing. So similarly here as well, it is mentioned that Lord Chaitanya, he did not come according to normal birthing process. He first appeared into the mind of Jagannath Mishra, just like Krishna. He first appeared into the mind of Jagannath Mishra, then he appeared into the heart of Jagannath Mishra. And from the heart of Jagannath Mishra, he was transferred to the heart of Shachi Devi.
So then, similarly, when he was transferred to the heart of Shachi Devi, this was 13 months before he entered the heart of the bodies of Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi. 13 months before he was actually to appear. Now, if you see, the common child remains within the mother's womb for 10 months, 9 months, 10 months maximum. But here we see Lord remained within the body for 13 months. This means it was not a normal appearance. It was not the way common people appear through the womb of the mother. He actually appeared. That's why we don't call this as birth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he didn't take birth like common people do. We say he appeared. It's the appearance of the Lord, just like Krishna appeared. Then Jagannath Mishra, when he actually felt something in his body in 1485, 13 months before Lord Chaitanya's appearance. He said, I saw this effulgent abode of the Lord entering into my heart in my dream. I saw this in my dream. And Shachi Devi, from my heart, that entire abode entered into your heart. So I understand that a great personality will soon take birth. And then Shachi Mata was pregnant for 13 months. In the 13th month, there was still no sign of delivery of the child. 13 months, no delivery, no delivery. This is similar to how Shukadeva Goswami, he would not come out of the womb of his mother when he entered as Shuka. So then Jagannath Mishra became very apprehensive. Nilambar Chakravarti, the father of Shachi Devi, he did an astrological calculation. He was a great scholar. He did some astrological and he said, in this very month, this child will take birth at a very auspicious moment. He predicted that. So then in 1486, in February, March, Falgun month, in the evening of the full moon day, that auspicious moment arrives.
So in auspiciousness, to prepare for auspiciousness, we will create some sound vibrations so that Lord Chaitanya, just like he appeared in Navadvip in 1486, let us make some arrangements that the Lord chooses to make his appearance in each and every one of our hearts. So let us invoke him with our loud cries by crying out, Gauranga, Gauranga, Gauranga. And let's make some auspicious sounds so that the Lord is attracted by our helpless devotion and he manifests in our heart.
Gauranga! Gauranga! Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki Jai! just like Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486. Whenever his devotees cry out his holy name, he appears. Right now, he appeared in all of your homes, all of your hearts, as you chanted Gauranga, all of our hearts. Right now, at this moment of 7:23 p.m. Central Time, on January 28th, he has appeared right now. This is the potency of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Whenever his names are chanted, whenever his glories are chanted, he is there. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu is in each and every one of our houses right now as we are listening to this wonderful appearance pastime. And he is listening to us, speaking, listening to us, listening to his wonderful pastimes. And he's so pleased, depending on the intensity with which we are hearing and chanting. Haribo.
It's said, Singha Rashi Singha Lagna Ucha Graha Gar Shadvarga Shashtavarga Sarva Sulakshan.
According to Vedic astrology, Jyotirveda, the auspicious moment of birth is as follows. When Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared, the moon was in the Leo, lion, and Leo was the ascendant. Several planets were strongly positioned. The Shadvarga and Ashtavarga, they showed all auspicious influences.
So basically, all the planetary alignments were just perfect for the appearance of Krishna. The planets were all waiting to welcome the Lord, saluting the Lord. So they were in their perfect positions. You know, when the master comes, all of the servitors are in their best outfits. They are in their best behavior. So all of the planets, everybody, they were all in their best and perfect behavior. So there were perfect alignments for the Lord to welcome the Lord into this world.
And then something very special happened. Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami describes when the spotless moon of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is going to appear and become visible in these auspicious planetary alignments, then what is the need of the full moon, which is full of black marks? Considering this, even though it was a full moon day, night, sorry, the black planet, Rahu, covered the full moon. It was a lunar eclipse. And it is said, whenever there is lunar eclipse, everyone is recommended to chant the holy names. And everyone seeing the lunar eclipse was chanting in their house in Mother Ganges. They were there standing in the middle of Ganges in their homes. Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari. They were all chanting the holy names. And right in the midst of this great chanting of the holy names, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu made his appearance. Because the lunar eclipse takes place when the Rahu planet comes in the front of the full moon. And therefore, everyone was chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Dhvani Hoila, Shakala Bhuvan, Chamatkara Hoya Loka, Bhave Mone Mon.
All people thus chanted the Hare Krishna Mahamantra during this lunar eclipse, and their minds were struck with complete wonder. You see, because the moon and all the planets were saying, hey moon, what is your problem? You think that you have nice qualities, you are very bright, you are very effulgent, and full moon. No, 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 you are nothing compared to the golden moon who is arising right now as Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So therefore, you go away, you don't need to be here. Therefore, it is said that there was a lunar eclipse on the evening that Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu appeared.
And this moon was eclipsed by Rahu. And the ocean of the holy name was drowning and subduing the darkness of Kali Yuga. That's when the Supreme Lord was manifested, and all the 14 worlds on the lotus stem resounded with this news. Gauranga Mahaprabhu has appeared. Gauranga Mahaprabhu has appeared. Gauranga, everyone was in ecstasy. And the residents of Nadia were freed from all sorrows. This is described in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat by Vrindavan Das Thakur. In Sri Chaitanya Mangal, Srila Lochan Das Thakur also explains this beautiful scene.
He says, Srila Lochan Das Thakur says, the people of Nadia, they were standing in the Ganges and filling the atmosphere with the chanting of the holy names. A gentle breeze scattered a celestial fragrance in all of the 8 directions. Everyone in all of the directions felt extremely happy. All 6 seasons seemed to have manifested at the same time because of the auspicious appearance of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Thrilled with so much joy, all the devatas, they were rushing down to take the beautiful darshan of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the only sound that was heard in all of creation during that time was Hari Hari, Hari Hari, Hari Hari, the treasure of Vaikuntha. You know, Vaikuntha, Golokera Premadhan, the treasure of the spiritual world, had now appeared in the courtyard from the womb of Shachi Mata. And Shachi Mata's heart knew no end to the joy. She was just, looking at her child, looking at the beauty of her beautiful golden child. She just called out to her husband and she said, Prabhu, please come. Ekhane esho. Come, please come. Ekhane esho means in Bengali, it says, come here. Ekhane esho, come here. See the beautiful face, the moon-like face of your son. And please make your life successful just by taking darshan of the moon-like face of your golden son. So this is how Shachi Mata reacted when Gauranga Mahaprabhu made his transcendental appearance.
And then Jagat Bharya Loka Bole Hari Hari Shekshane Gaura Krishna Bhume Avatari. And this time when the whole world was chanting the holy names of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna in the form of Gaura Hari invented himself on the earth. And all the ladies, they vibrated the holy name of Hari. All the heavenly planets, there was dancing and music going on. The demigods were very, very curious. All the 10 directions became so jubilant. The waves of the rivers were jubilantly flowing. All moving and non-moving beings, they were just overwhelmed with transcendental bliss. Nadiya Udayagiri Purna Chandra Gaura Hari Kripa Kori Hoila Udaya Papatama Hoila Nasha Trijagatera Ulilasha Jagabhuri Hari Dhvani Hai. By his causeless mercy, this full moon of Gaurahari rose in the district of Nadia, which is compared to Udayagiri. Udayagiri is where first the sun becomes visible. And his rising in the sky, it dissipated the darkness of everyone's sinful life, and 3 worlds became joyful. This is how it's described in Sri Chaitanya Mangal.
Srila Prabhupada, he has therefore mentioned that a very special reason why Srila Prabhupada has named ISKCON Mayapur, he named the temple in Mayapur as Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir. Chandrodaya Mandir. Chandrodaya Mandir. Chandra Udaya means this is where the golden moon of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu has arisen. That is why Mayapur Srila Prabhupada selected Mayapur Dham, because it is the appearance place of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That is why it is chosen by Srila Prabhupada to be the world headquarters of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, ISKCON. And therefore Srila Prabhupada named that temple as Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir. So now in Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, we were listening till now what is described by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Let us see what Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur in his Chaitanya Bhagavat, how does he describe the oceanic beauty of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu at the time of his appearance, when the Lord appeared like a golden baby. How beautiful is the Lord. Let us see what Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur says.
He explains the exquisite beauty of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. His complexion was the color of sandalwood paste, and his chest was decorated with a gently swaying wildflower garland. And his moonlight face is so pleasing, cooling, and comforting. His arms were elongated all the way to his knees.
Ajanu Lambita Bhuja. Ajanu means his bhuja, means his arms are so, Janu means the knees, till his thighs. So Ajanu Lambita Bhuja means his arms are so elongated, so beautiful that they reach up to his knees, to his thighs. In Sri Chaitanya Mangala, Srila Lochan Das Thakur, he describes the striking, transcendental beauty of Lord Gauranga, and also how Shachimata would personally dress Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Srila Lochan Das Thakur says that every limb of Sri Gaura Sundara, it manifested an abundance of rasa. Rasa means divine mellows. So every limb of Gaura Sundara's transcendental body was a manifestation of a beautiful mellow, a beautiful rasa. Gauranga's body was a condensed form of luscious nectar. Sweet. Have you seen condensed milk? How condensed milk is? So condensed milk is that luscious nectar. Like that Gauranga Mahaprabhu is. So sweet. Seeing this form would soothe the eyes of everyone who would look upon this transcendental child. It appeared to everyone that he is none other than the lover of the gopis. He is none other than Sri Gopinath. The entire universe could not contain, how much happiness Sri Jagannath Mishra was feeling upon looking upon the beautiful face of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. No one could understand that, because he was feeling so happy, so blissful, just looking at his son's lotus face. And it is said that Gaura's, beautiful face, it shone, it was shining like the radiance of millions and millions and millions of moons. And his smile, his beautiful smile, resembled a blossoming lotus flower, like not just a flower which is, every time Lord Chaitanya was like this, he would smile and it would be like a lotus flower blossom. And his elegant, highly raised nose defeated the beauty of a sesame flower. Beautiful, sweet, cute little nose. It is said that the bodily effulgence of Mahaprabhu's, form was very, 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 very cooling. Affection would rise in the heart upon seeing the red lips of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, his beautifully shaped chin and shining cheeks. Lord Chaitanya's cheeks would be like, moons. They would reflect light like this. It was so much shining. His neck resembled that of a lion, and his shoulders were as powerful as that of an elephant. He has a broad chest, long arms which hang down to his knees. Gauranga Mahaprabhu's entire body is saturated with bliss. His hips are wide and attractively curved. His powerful thighs, they would put to shame the trunk of the banana tree. His feet resembled a pink lotus flower. The soles of the lotus feet of baby Gauranga are marked with a flag, chamara, goad. Goad means, what is used to tame the elephants. That is called a goad. A chariot, lightning bolt, umbrella, the swastika sign, a jambu fruit, and a triangle which is surrounded by water pots. The combined effect of all of this beauty was like a flowing nectar of, it was a river of flowing nectar. This was the beauty of Sri Gauranga, little baby, golden child, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And Shachi Mata, it is said that she would decorate the beautiful lotus-like eyes of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu with kajal, with the black mascara, and marked his beautiful forehead with golden yellow tilaka. Sometimes Nimai would move his hands and legs just like little babies do. He would just throw his hands, legs, everywhere as newborn babies always do. But just even his moving his arms and legs were looking as if he was dancing to the tune of the ladies when they would clap like this for him. It would seem as if Nimai is dancing for them. He would smile ever so sweetly, and with unblinking eyes, it is said that Sri Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi, they gazed at their wonderful, wonderful divine child. Every day Shachi Mata would massage little Nimai with turmeric and scented oil. Little Gaura Sundara would be massaged every day with turmeric and scented oil.
Then so many different respected brahmanas and matajis and ladies, they were carrying plates with different gifts. They came with their presentation, seeing this newborn child. His form was resembling like naturally glaring gold. And all of them, they hopped happily. They were offering their blessings.
So now Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami continues in Chaitanya Charitamrita to describe who all came to see this golden child, Sri Gaura Sundara. Savitri Gauri Saraswati Shachi Rambha Arundhati Arajata Deva Nari Gan Nana Dravya Patra Bhari Brahmanira Veshadhari Ashishabe Kare Darshan.
Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Shingadev, Indra, Vasishtha Muni, along with Rambha and Apsara, they dressed themselves as wives of the Brahmanas. And the wives of all these, as it says here, Savitri Gauri Saraswati, these are all wives of Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lord Nrsingadev, wives of Indra. Shachi is the wife of Indra, and the wife of Vasishtha Rishi. All of them, everyone came. They dressed as wives of Brahmanas. And whatever riches Jagannath Mishra collected in the form of gifts, presentations, whatever he had in his house, he distributed among the Brahmanas, among the professional singers, all the dancers who had come, and all the poor people. Then Malini Devi, the wife of Srivas Thakur, she came accompanied by the wife of Chandrasekhar Acharya, who is also called as Acharya Ratna. and all these other ladies. They came there in great happiness. They worshipped the baby with paraphernalia as vermilion, or like the sindoor, turmeric, oil, bananas, coconuts, all of these things. One day, shortly after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was born, Sita Thakurani, the wife of Advaita Acharya, the senior most Vaishnava in Navadvip, took her husband's permission and went to see this topmost child. She came with all kinds of gifts and presentations, different kinds of golden ornaments she had. She had armlets, necklaces, anklets, bangles for hands everywhere. There was also a tiger nail, which was set in gold, just to protect the child from evil eye. There were waist decorations of silk and lace ornaments for hands and legs, silken saris, child garments, all of these different things. Gold coins, silver coins, all of them, Sita Thakurani came to Shachimata's house.
And she presented all of this to the child Sri Gaurasundara. Whenever I hear about the tiger claw, the pendant of the tiger claw, it is a very specific pendant. It is like a sword, which is, it forks out like this, and it's worn for protecting against the evil eye. And it is said that Mother Jashoda, she would put it on baby Krishna, so that baby Krishna would always get so much attacked by all the demons. So Mother Jashoda, out of her Vatsalya ras, out of her motherly affection, she would say that, oh, my Kanha needs to be protected, so she would protect him by giving him, making him wear this tiger claw pendant. So one time, there's a disciple of Srila Prabhupada who is His Grace Mukunda Datta Prabhu. And he one time asked me a question. He said, oh, well, you are from Mayapur. I want to ask you a question that, generally we know that, children, or, like even Krishna wore this tiger claw pendant so that he would be, protected from the evil eye. But I have a question. I said, yes, Prabhu, what is your question? He said, I have a question that, Lord Nrsingadev in Mayapur, he wears not one, but he wears three or four sometimes also. He wears 3 to 4 tiger claw pendants. Lord Nrsingadev, he is the destroyer. He is the one who removes the evil eye. Then why would Lord Nrsingadev be wearing, the tiger claw pendant? Why would he do that? So I said, Prabhu, I will ask, the head pujari, His Grace Jananivas Prabhu, I will ask him and I will let you know. So then when we went to Mayapur, Prabhu asked Jananivas Prabhu that, Prabhu, we have this question, Mukunda Datta Prabhu has this question that, Lord Nrsingadev is the destroyer of all the obstacles and he is the protector. He is the one who protects from the evil eye. So why is Lord Nrsingadev wearing, this protection? He is the protector. Why does he need protection? So Jananivas Prabhu laughed and he said that, yes, Lord Nrsingadev is no doubt, he is the protector, but devotees, out of their unconditional love for Lord Nrsingadev, out of a Vatsalya Bhav to Lord Nrsingadev, the devotees, they say, my dear Lord, you are protecting everyone, but may our love protect you. So the devotees, out of their love, they offer this tiger claw pendant to Lord Nrsingadev so that he can do his duty of protecting everyone else very wonderfully. And thus, this is the love of the devotees that they have for Lord Nrsingadev. So just whenever I hear about tiger claw pendants, I'm immediately reminded of this pastime, that how wonderful, is the relationship between the Lord and his devotees. That the Lord reciprocates so wonderfully with his devotees that the protector himself is ready to take on the protection of love that is offered by his dear devotees. That is the That is the mercy and that is the genuine love that the Lord has for all the devotees. How merciful is the most compassionate Lord.
So when Srimati Sita Thakurani, the wife of Advaita Acharya, came to the house of Shachi Devi, she gave all these gifts. And she was just astonished looking at this beautiful child. She said, he is Krishna. The only difference is the color. Other than that, he is Krishna. Because look at the wonderful effulgence of this child. His limbs are so beautifully constructed, full of auspicious signs all over his bodies. And she felt that her heart was melting because of her motherly affection. So she blessed the child. How? By placing fresh grass and paddy on his head and said, may you be blessed with long duration of life. And then she gave a special name to the child. She said, because you're so beautiful, you need to be protected by ghosts and witches. And ghosts and witches are very, very afraid of the neem tree. And you were born right under the neem tree, which is still in the courtyard of Jagannath Mishra and Shachi Devi's house. So your name for your protection shall be Nimai. Shri Nimai Gaura Sundar ki jai. Shri Sat So then, Mother Shachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra, they obtained a son who was none other than the husband of the goddess of fortune. They had all their desires were fulfilled, and their house was full of riches and grains every time. And as they would see the beautiful face of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu day after day, their pleasure just increased. Then Nilambar Chakravarti, who is the father of Shachi Mata, he told privately Jagannath Mishra, he calculated the birth moment of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he said, I see different symptoms of a great personality, not only in the body of this person, but also in the birth moment of this person. In future, this is a very, very unique astrological chart he has. In future, he will deliver all the three worlds. So this way, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu invented, and it is said, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, the Falastuti. Listen very carefully. Lord Chaitanya is very merciful to anyone who hears this narration of his birth, and thus such a person attains the lotus feet of the Lord. So all of us who have heard this narration will definitely get this benediction.
The chapter concludes by this following verse. It says,
Paya manusha janma, jena shune gaura guna, heno janma tara vyartha hoila. Paya amrita dhuni, piye visha garta pani, janmi ashe kene, nahi moila.
Anyone who attains a human body but does not take to the process of participating in Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan is baffled in his opportunity. Amrita Dhuni is a flowing river of the nectar of devotional service. If after getting a human body, one drinks the water in a poison pit of material happiness, instead of the water of such a river, it would be better for him to not have lived at all, but to have died long ago. So then Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, taking upon my head as my own property the lotus feet of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu, Swarup Damodar, Srila Rupa Goswami, and Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, I, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, have thus described the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now let us just conclude by seeing what does Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur say in his Chaitanya Bhagavata, that what is the falastuti, what is the result that we can obtain by listening to this transcendental advent of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu.
Whosoever hears the narrations of Lord Chaitanya's birth is freed from all miseries in life and in death. Anyone who hears Lord Chaitanya's pastimes immediately gets love of God and becomes his eternal servitor. He comes with the Lord each time he advents in this material world. Haribo. Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki jai.
This is a huge benediction just by listening to this narration, that we can be allowed, if we listen to it with sincerity, with devotion, with faith, then we will be allowed to appear whenever the Lord appears in this material world. We will be allowed to come along with the Lord to assist in his mission to deliver the conditioned souls. This is such a wonderful blessing, such a wonderful result that we have after listening to the divine advent of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. From next week onwards, we will be diving into the nectar of the childhood pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We will be diving into the pastimes of, the Kaumara Leela, the Pauganda Leela, all of the, the childhood pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are about to enter into the ocean of nectarian bliss. So today we would like to dedicate our kirtan to the family of Mother Flavier, and we pray for her family, her niece, her nephew, actually grandniece and grandnephew. And we pray that the Lord have his mercy upon them and relieve them from all of their suffering, and always keep, blessing this wonderful family of Flavier, who is so sincere and who is so dedicatedly, practicing Krishna consciousness so wonderfully. So we all pray for the family of Mother Flavier, and we also continue to pray for the family of Anju Agarwal Mataji, Anjudi, that her mother and her brother and his wife be also relieved from their suffering and be healthy,
situated in the service of the Lord as
be
well.
situated in the service of the Lord with a peaceful mind.
And any one of you, if you'd like us to dedicate the kirtan after the class to any of you or your family members, either for any health reasons or for any celebration, if there's anniversary or any such glorious event, to express our gratefulness to the Lord or to express our prayers to the Lord for any situation for your family or yourself, we will be happy to announce as well as dedicate the kirtan for their purification.
Hare Krishna. So this is for Flavier and your family, and this is for Anjali and your family. Our heartfelt prayers to Lord Nrsingadev. Let us all pray.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavad Paschatya Deshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki,
Jai.
Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki,
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki,
Jai.
Jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki,
Jai. Gauramrita Mahavishnum
Jvalantam Sarvatomukham, Narsingham Bhishanam Bhadram, Mrityur Mrityur Namamyaham.
Shri Nrsimha Jai Nrsimha Jai 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 Shri Nrsimha Praladesha
Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa.
Jai Shri Nrsimha Dev Bhagavan ki
Jai.
Jai. So before we open up our lines, we will just announce the quiz for today's session.
First, who are the devotees who appeared before Lord Chaitanya? Name the father, mother, and grandfather of Lord Chaitanya.
Third, who prompted Lord Chaitanya to appear? Fourth, how did Lord Chaitanya appear and when?
Fifth, why did Srila Prabhupada name Mayapur temple as Mayapur Chandrodaya Mandir? Sixth, describe the bodily features of Lord Chaitanya.
Seventh, what are the symbols in the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya? Eighth, who came to see Lord Chaitanya?
Ninth, why Lord Nrsingadev wears tiger claw pendants? 10th, what is the special name given by Sita Thakurani to Lord Chaitanya?
11th, what is the falastuti of hearing the advent of Lord Chaitanya? Thank you so much, Ranjani Gopika, for this wonderful quiz questions. So now let's open up the lines. Flavia?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Rasarani, Haribol.
I accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Dalit Panan. Thank you so very much for the blessings for my family. And we are very, very grateful. My niece is actually listening now. And I'm just very grateful for you and Prabhuji. I'm just so grateful. Words cannot express my gratitude.
Thank you for this opportunity. We are
Yes,
so grateful that
you.
you give us an opportunity to be a part of your family because you are a part of ours, and that we are allowed to, pray for you and your family. That is an honor for us, and
Yes.
it's a great
We
opportunity.
learn so much from you. We learn so much every day. I look forward to listening and re-listening again on YouTube because I can do my questions. It's just wonderful. I'm so grateful for your service. Thank you so much. May
Thank you.
Krishna always bless you and you continue to step in his lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you, Rasarani. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Love you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Garima.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, Danwar Pranam, all glories to Sri Prabhupada and Gurudev. I enjoyed the class. This is actually my first class of like the story starts of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this is my favorite class. Like stories actually coming. It's coming on and on. Soon it's going to go to the pure nectar, and it's going to be like flowing nectar.
Haribol.
Haribol.
My favorite book is Chaitanya Charitamrita. I've never heard like the stories of it, and I've never like read it. This is my first time, and I really enjoyed the class because like whole appearance it was so amazing. I really loved it today.
Thank you,
I
Vita.
don't have any questions. I don't have any questions. Now I drew this Matsya and colored it.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
wow.
That's Avatar ki jai.
Jai, beautiful, Vita. Very beautiful.
Thank
Thank you, Garima. Thank you, Bacha. Love you. Hari bol. Hari
Hari
bol.
bol.
Kirti.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all
Vita.
glory to Srila Prabhupada, Guru and Gauranga. I missed you both so much when I was gone for a few days. But I was still listening, and I really thought those classes were very nice also. And I liked today's class because there was a lot of stories and pastimes in today's class. And I really liked the kirtan in the end, Mataji and Prabhuji. So thank you so much for that. I was wondering something, Mataji and Prabhuji. So how you mentioned in today's class, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Devi, they lost 6 daughters. Eight daughters. 8 daughters, and then Vishwambar, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then but Krishna. Before Krishna, Devaki and Vasudev lost 6 children. Does losing 8 children or something have some kind of significance, like how those 6 children died like in Krishna's pastimes?
You know what? We tried to look this up, actually. We were anticipating a question on this because, the 6 brothers who, of Krishna, they were
the sons of Marichi.
Yeah, they were the sons of Marichi. And Krishna brought them back, to see Devaki Mata. But we also tried to research that who are these 8 girls, who were born of Shachi Mata. We didn't find any kind of a bona fide reference to it, but we are still researching. We really did a lot of research, but we are still researching who these 8 daughters are. And but basically the concept, I can tell you the concept why they appear, even the same reason that why the 6 sons appeared before, and then Lord Balaram came. So it is said that the 6 sons came as the 6 anarthas also. The 6 anarthas, the 6 vices, which is lust, pride, greed, envy, anger, ignorance, illusion. So all of this, they represent that. And then the supreme, Adi Guru, Lord Balaram, he comes, he cleaned up the womb, so that his duty was just to clean up the womb and make preparation and arrangement so that Krishna could take shelter of that womb of Mother Devaki. And then Lord Balaram, he moved out to Rohini Devi. So in a similar way, Shachi Mata's womb also, there will be something very special. We'll try to find this out. Give us some more time. We'll do a little more research on this about the 8 daughters, and we will definitely get back to you. But the general idea is that, to clean up the womb of Mother Shachi so that Lord Vishwambhar, Nimai, little Shachi Gaura Sundara, can take shelter of Sachimata's womb.
Okay, Mataji, and I have one according question to that. Related question to that. So how Krishna's 6 brothers or sisters that came before him, Krishna actually returned them back to Devaki by making them come back to life. Did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ever do that to make his sisters come back again?
Not mentioned, Beta. It's not mentioned. Yeah.
That's because Devaki had asked. Yashoda never asked.
Mother Shachi
Mother
could have
Shachi,
probably
yeah.
never have asked.
Okay, Mataji and Prabhuji, I was just wondering. Thank you, Mataji, Prabhuji, for a beautiful session.
Thank you, Beta. Thank you. Bhakti. Love you. Hari bol.
Haribol.
Bhakti, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji.
Ah, Bhakti Priya.
Hare Krishna Mataji. And I love today's session. It was so fascinating. It was so beautiful. Thank you for such a nice explanation. And that Gauranga Mahaprabhu, that how he was so beautiful, right? I can't like even though if we see him really, we will be fainted. How beautiful. It was so nice explanation, Mataji and Prabhuji. So today I have one question that Gauranga Mahaprabhu was so beautiful that uh, which body have chosen, the like material body or transcendental body? I'm sure he have chosen transcendental body because Krishna has a transcendental body and he is always transcendental. But even though he have chosen transcendental, how the people on the century, how did they manage to see him? Because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told, I don't manifest the who have no faith. So how did people manage to see him?
Very good question.
Very good question. Just like even when Krishna was present here, people like Duryodhan who had no faith in him still saw him. So uh, if Krishna allows them to see, then they will see. But seeing is not through these material eyes. Real seeing is to be able to see through the eyes of faith. And because if Krishna comes even today in this material world, everyone will think, oh, someone from the drama company has come. They would say, oh, you're acting as Krishna in which drama? Because, and even if someone says, no, I'm God, they'll laugh. What is this? You are God. What God? They'll pinch him, they'll do all these things. And it is not, that's why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, it's not important that we see God. It's important that we serve God in such a way that God wants to see us. That is more important. Oh, who is this Bhakti Priya? So wonderfully she's serving my devotees, she's serving me. And then Krishna will want to see you and will then manifest himself in front of us. Otherwise, even if he manifests, if we don't want to have faith, we will still not have faith even if he comes right in front of us. So, but if someone has faith just by hearing, they will also be able to develop love for him. So that is more important. That even during Krishna's time, people were able to see, and even during Lord Chaitanya's time, people were able to see. But it's not the question whether they were able to see or not. It's a question whether they were able to serve him or not. That is more important. Some chose to serve him, some neglected, even though he was right there. They did not serve him, they criticized him. So, yeah, that's the understanding.
Okay, Prabhuji. And I have drawn one picture of Gauranga and Chaitanya, Gauranga and Nityananda Prabhu. So I like to show that. These are our Gaurmita deities.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
So beautiful, Priya. Very pretty. Very, very pretty.
Do they have tattoos?
Very, very sweet. Very wonderful. Beautiful, Priya. Very
The actual deities are here.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Replica.
Very nice.
What are their names?
Gauranga Nityananda. Gaurmita.
Thank you, Beta. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji and Prabhuji. Hare
Thank you, Bhakti Priya. Hari Bol. Anjali? Hare Krishna, Anjali. Yes.
Gauranga,
Jai
Gauranga.
Gauranga.
Nitai, Nitai.
Yeah.
कुछ शब्द ही नहीं है मतलब it was oh god I still have not I'm in that only उसी में ही हूँ मैं समझ ही नहीं आ रहा I'm just holding my just photo of Gauranga and Nitai and I'm just hugging it I just don't know what to think it is thank you so much thank you so much मतलब I don't have words to describe for the class today. It was भगवान जी का जन्म हुआ है, भगवान जी आए हैं और हम सब लोग ने बस क्या करें बस हम लोग इतने fortunate I'm feeling today like we are feeling so blessed. So blessed. कि प्रभु जी की ऐसी कृपा है कि आप दोनों हम लोगों के लाइक जीवन में और हम लोग को इतना सुंदर पास टाइम्स में ले जा रहे हैं वो हम कभी जानते लाइक वी डिडंट इवन नो I didn't know it was so like all these leelas and everything. Thank you God Lord for so much for this mercy on us and keep on showering this mercy and grace and thank you for your prayers for my mother, for my bhaiya, bhabhi, everybody. I'm so touched, so deep gratitude. And I know my mother is suffering a lot and we are all helpless. And but your prayers are giving me so much of strength, your association. And I had one very good realization yesterday. I was just thinking, and when I was hearing again yesterday there was no class, but I was hearing your day before yesterday class again, and I said it's okay, fine. So I think so. Lord wants me to hear the class again. Maybe I missed out on something, and it just gave me one realization which I want to share with you. कि वो इसलिए हमारी परीक्षा लेते हैं, he put us in these tough times because we get so carried away in the material world and we get dependent on others, the doctors and everything. And he says, he was just saying, no, you have forgotten me. You have to like you remember me but not that much which I want. Same Chaitanya Mahaprabhu messages like so you remember me more and I'm making you more stronger and stronger. So don't think like if you are in a difficult situation, but it's okay, you are coming more closer to me, you are praying me more, you are remembering me more. What else you want? And that is your goal in life. So thank you so much for making us realize all these things, which we forget in our daily routine. Love you loads, both of you. A big hug to you for your
Love you too, Deep.
deep
Love you
and,
too.
and I want to thank you all the devotees also. Garima's mom called me also yesterday and we spoke for half an hour and it was so wonderful and I felt so good. Thank you everybody for your prayers, your well wishes and everything. Thank you so much.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Thank you,
Hare
Deep.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I'm going to hear for this class again now. It was so much. And still, like, I think it was something else. We went to a different world. We went to Goloka only.
Hare
Yes,
Thank you so
Shweta ji.
much.
Hari Om. Thank
Hari
you.
Bol.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Also, we'd like to remind everyone tomorrow will be Brahma Samhita class in Hindi. So please join us and let your family members who would be interested in listening in Hindi, please request them to join.
Marie. Hare Krishna, Marie. Hello. You can unmute yourself. Could you unmute? Can you unmute your microphone so we can hear you? Can you just press on the microphone so we can hear you?
You are muted.
You're muted. So can you just unmute yourself?
We still, oh, you're not able to unmute?
Um,
Maybe the administrator can help.
Can you help in unmuting, please? Prem Vikas Prabhu?
Thank
Okay,
you.
yes.
I don't know. I'm not really good with the phones and everything, and I haven't really used this thing very often, but I am so touched and feel so honored and loved, and I am so thankful to God, Krishna, Christ, for just loving on us, and that you all would just take time to pray for us, and the way that you did, it means so much to me and my family. And I also have good news. We have keys. This is just, God has just been blessing us, showing me, that it really only takes a little bit of faith, and that He will show up, even for those people, when you feel like you don't deserve it. You believe it, but you never think God would do it for you. And so, in the midst of all of our trouble right now, I am able to still find the strength to keep going, because God keeps showing up in one form or another through other people. So thank you so much. I appreciate you so much.
And Marie, please know that you are our family. We are praying for you every single day, and never ever feel alone. You can always reach out to us. We are, this is your niece. Wow. So you are our family. Yes, I could guess that you are connected to our dearest Flavier. So to our angel, I call her my angel.
I haven't come on enough as much as I will, you know, but when I do, I appreciate the stories and the history, because I'm so curious. I want to know more, and I'm always wanting to get closer to God, So I thank God. I'm so thankful for the guidance, even
Mother
I am
Prabhu,
overwhelmed.
We are too. We are too.
she was explaining
Yeah.
how miracle, how we are witnessing miracle with the health of
Yes.
how he's recovering, and in the middle of
Yes.
so much crisis, and suddenly he is
Yes.
showing so much
Yes.
responsiveness. That is none other than the mercy and because of your attitude of gratitude.
Yes.
You, Krishna, God
Yes.
is reciprocating with you.
Yes, because he is. When you sometimes I lost, just feeling very lost. But God says, "Come back, come back," and I will open my arms to you. So just it's
Never consider yourself alone. We are with you, all of us. Everyone is sending you such beautiful messages. You can read that. Every one of our prayers are with you. We are your.
okay. Yeah, and I will go back. I am so sorry that I was late. I felt so ashamed, and like I'm so sorry, but
No,
I
no,
do
please.
that a lot, and yeah, I'm sorry.
No,
I
no,
need to
please
correct
don't
it.
apologize. Please do not apologize. We are,
Okay.
Always
we
thankful for your
yeah.
association whenever you can come.
Even if you come towards the end, you just come and join us. It's
Thank
just
you.
wonderful
Thank
to
you.
see.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. A warm, loving hug to you. Hare Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you so much. And to you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Good night.
Good night.
Manasi, you have a question?
Hare Krishna, Mataji and Prabhuji, thank you so much for the beautiful katha. It was so beautiful, Mataji. It was like we actually welcomed Mahaprabhu in our hearts, and I just could feel that golden light inside my heart, Mataji. It was so beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji. No words, really. And we really welcomed him in our hearts. And the birth took place. It was really, really nice. The description of each, the Varanan of the beautiful, the souls and the shining, the cheeks and all. It was really nice, Mataji, the way you narrated. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for this. Really, it was really good. Mataji, I wanted to ask you, because we are in India and we're usually chanting in the morning. So it's like leaving the bag. I mean, I don't know. So is there any other timing, Mataji, that we can do? Because then either the chanting or the seva, the Mangal Aarti, everything doesn't finish, by 6:30 in the morning. So is there a way that we can do both? What do we do? Like,
So some devotees, they what they do is that they, like little Bhakti Priya, she was talking to me the other day about this, and so she told me her schedule, and we were speaking, and I said that, okay, why don't you, do what she does sometimes is that she gets up at 3:45, and from 4 to 6 she does her japa, and then at 6 o'clock she does Mangalarti. So 6 to 6:20 she does Mangalarti, and 6:30 she is ready to sit in the class after finishing everything. So she does it that way, and sometimes she does 4 to 5 she does her japa, and then 5 o'clock she does the Mangalarti, and then she continues her japa again, and by 6:30 she's done. So that's how she does. Sometimes when she has some late nights in studies and things like that, so when she's not able to wake up early, she doesn't want to miss the class. So what she does is, how much ever japa she's able to do, she does that. And then instead of doing, Mangalarti that day, she does, later on, she does a Darshanarti, and she serves the Lord that way, and she continues her japa after the class.
And some devotees, they hear the class when they are driving or when they are on their way, later sometime,
The recording.
the recording on YouTube
yeah.
and Facebook Live. So that is also another option.
Yes, Mataji. But I don't know why, but sometimes in the afternoon I try to hear it or later on, but there are so many these things, and then we end up pausing the YouTube in between and then hearing it again and then again pausing it, something happens and again pausing it. So the whole flow, doesn't happen. So in the morning when we hear it live, we remember it much more.
That's true.
Yes.
That is
You know?
very true.
Yeah. The Japa talk, I remember I heard some of the lectures and it was not the same like hearing it live.
Yes.
One flow.
Yes.
I think the energy, your energy is there. You're talking. All the devotees are there. They're present together at that moment. I think the collective consciousness is there.
Yes, that is true. That
Thank you,
does
Mata.
make a difference. Thank you. Thank you so much, Manasi. Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna. Dandavat pranam to everyone.
Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Any other questions?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat.
Mataji, so nice Mataji, very wonderful Nectarian class today, very mesmerizing Mataji today. The way you narrated really spellbounding it was. So thank you so much for that. And my question is, Mataji, for Yashoda, Devaki and Vasudev, they prayed, they wanted Krishna only to born in their womb. They prayed, and 3 lifetime, like they took the birth, and then only they have come as Devaki and Vasudev. So like that, how Gauranga Mahaprabhu has selected these couples, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata. So they also prayed like that. Something is there, Mataji? Any story? Any pastimes?
It is said that here today we heard that Krishna, Vrajendra Kumar, actually went to Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda and asked them to take birth as Jagannath Mishra, as Shachi Devi. And so for the 3 lifetimes, they chose that Krishna should come. And this lifetime, Krishna chose them. Gauranga Mahaprabhu chose them.
And also it is said that, Aditi and Kashyapa were the ones, Prishni Garbha, Prishni and Sutapa, Prishni and Sutapa. They were the first personalities who had done the tapasya to get Krishna as their son. So then the first lifetime was as Prishni Garbha, then the second was as Aditi and Kashyapa, and third is Devaki and Vasudev. So Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya, they are not in the equation. It is Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya are said to be that they are the eternal parents of Krishna. Even in Goloka Vrindavan, Krishna is present with Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya. Devaki and Vasudev are in Vaikuntha. They're in Dwarka and Mathura. So they are, not lower, but, the rasa of Devaki and Vasudev is less intimate than that of Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya. It is more intimate. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that, Devaki Mata was still considering Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And she actually appealed to Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead that please return my children, bring them back. You have the ability. And then Krishna was saying that, but Maya, but Mata, he didn't call her Maya. He said, Mata, I want to, I am also your son. And she said, yes, you are, but they are my sons also. But Mother Jashoda, her mood is very different. She doesn't care whether Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead or not. She just has, unconditional love for Krishna. So therefore, her love, Mother Jashoda and Nanda Baba's love for Krishna is more intimate even in the Vatsalya ras than Devaki Mata and Vasudeva. So therefore, it is said that just as Nanda Jashoda are in Goloka Vrindavan as eternal parents of Krishna, similarly, Jagannath Mishra and Sachi Mata are the eternal parents of Gauranga Mahaprabhu in Shvetadvipa, in Lord Chaitanya's Dham. So they are the eternal parents of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and they are the direct expansions of Nanda Baba and Jashoda Maya. Just like how Brajendra Nandana Shai, Shochi Shuta Hailo Shai, like how Krishna is none other than Lord Gauranga. So similarly, Shachi Mata is non-different from Mother Jashoda. That's how it is explained.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Mataji. It was such a perfect day to describe the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because today is Paurnima. So yes. What a perfect day.
Yes.
And also the Kirtan you did yesterday and today, it was such in the mood of prayer. When you listen to that, it feels like you're standing in front of the Lord and praying to Him to have mercy. It was such a beautiful Kirtan. And I have one question. Vishwarupa, brother of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is also appeared as Balram, you said, I think. So did Balram appear did he appear as Nityananda Prabhu and also Vishwarupa Prabhu? So is this
As
like,
both. As both.
oh, he is, okay. So, but only we talk about Nityananda Prabhu as Balram. We never talk about Vishwarupa as the appearance of Baldev.
So
most of
it
the
is
time.
said here that Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram himself, and Vishwarupa is an incarnation of Balaram, which means just like of Sankarshan, of Adishesh, like that. These are all incarnations of Baladev. So he is one of the incarnations of Balaram, not Balaram himself in all his full majesty. That is Nityananda Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna.
Very nice question, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Any more questions?
Okay. If not, we can end here. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Mataji, Prabhuji,
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna,
Pranam.
Mataji Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Mataji Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.